Hey, 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 hey. Um, I'm gonna pop into this debate for a little bit. I highly doubt I stay long because I am super tired.
Debate.
Yeah, cringe debate.
Luck,
What do
thanks
you
for
mean by
joining, dude.
All right,
cringe
guys.
debate?
Hey,
What?
everybody.
Huh?
Everybody, we're live. I was just telling everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and let people who are in Discord introduce themselves. 1 second. Let me make sure I'm transmitting. I am. I'm gonna go ahead and let everybody in Discord introduce themselves as long as they have their camera on. And I was delaying there a bit because I actually have to fix the speakers for you guys so people can hear you. Give me 1 second.
Come on, Steve. Dance, put your bikinis on. Get the cameras going. Riddle, Ward.
So we're gonna start. Hold on. Before everybody starts talking, hold on, because they can hear you. We are gonna talk tonight about police officers being weaponized against the left's opponents, which sounds crazy, right? But it kind of seems like it's happening, especially since after the whole BLM riot thing. And it's not just happening in America, it seems to be happening in Canada and the UK. We're seeing all these crazy videos of people who say things that the left does not like having the full force of the law come at them. We've seen that with the J6 people. There's many examples, and I think we should all talk about them. Oh, good, we got Liberal Cluck. I was gonna put you in the title, but I didn't know for sure if you were coming, so I didn't want to do that. Maybe I'll edit it, but glad to see you here. Let's go ahead and start with Tyler, and we'll just go down the aisle here for everybody that's on camera. Go ahead and introduce yourself, and we'll go from there.
What's up? Average Debate Enjoyer is my YouTube channel. It's shit. I hired an editor. It's under construction. I'm coming back strong with some. I got like 30 scripts going. So if you look at it now and you're like, "Wow, this video quality sucks," I agree with you. Otherwise, I just love debating. So I'm here to debate whatever the fuck you put in front of me.
Right. Nice. Like a true debater. Thanks. Go ahead, Cluck.
I'm Liberal Cluck. I'm in a similar
I
situation as
can't hear you.
Tyler.
Can you guys hear him?
He's got his mute on. Your Discord's
Oh,
muted.
you're muted.
You got to unmute him.
Is he muted?
No,
I
it's me.
muted him?
It was me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Liberal Cluck. I am in the same boat as Tyler. I have a channel and everything, but it all sucks, except I do not have an editor. Yeah, I'm just basically here because I like debating.
Nice. Thanks, man. And actually, RW is the official moderator. I don't know why well, it's my channel, so I kind of took it over there. But I'm going to let RW introduce himself, and then he could take over.
You were doing so good, man. I was just back. I'm RW. I'm here because I enjoy this group, and I think my job is to help people communicate on both sides of the fence so that good conversations happen instead of turd fights. And that's all I got.
Yeah.
As for
Okay,
running the
there's
show,
no
you
other
sure you don't want
cameras.
to do it, man? You're doing
Oh,
good,
hold
man.
on. Can I just really quickly call out that we have actually some really cool person in our group right now in the Discord channel? I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's Flip City in here. That's I think Flip City Comics. They're a hilarious comic, political satire comic, and they're in our Discord. That's pretty cool. I don't know if
I'll have to
I
pay
don't
attention to that.
I don't think they're gonna say anything. I don't know if they're gonna say anything. You're very welcome to whoever's there, but thanks for
I'll
joining
just
us.
say hello. Flip City Magazine, hello. I didn't even know what I was walking into. So, I guess I'm here to watch and
Nice. Well,
laugh
thanks
at you
for.
all. No.
We would totally
Thanks for-
appreciate any of your stuff you want to share in the user art or memes or anything. And when me and Drone Tech work on stuff during the day, I'll try and pay attention to what you create. So, because other artists help me.
They actually publish comment like Mad TV kind of not Mad Mad Magazine style like comics, but political.
Yes, I'll drop all kinds of art on you guys.
Yeah, Flip City, if you want to jump in at any point and tell me how smart and correct I am, feel free. Also, the DMs are open.
Thank you, Tyler. Riddle's on
All right,
cam and
so-
Steve's on cam.
Oh yeah,
Hi.
Riddle. Do you want to introduce yourself?
getting my ass kicked. Holy shit.
Only
You're
if you
muted.
unmute. Only if you unmute your mic.
Sorry about that. Whoopsie daisy. Yeah, I'm Riddle, just some random guy actually. So, but I just find this topic enjoyable, and honestly, any topic that we all get together to talk about, for the most part, except for overly done January 6th topics, stuff like that. But yeah, whatever it is, I'm willing to talk about it. Even if I don't know much about it, I'll still ask questions that might be annoying to people. But yeah, it's fun. So let's do this.
So, oh, and there's Smoke Steve. Hey, Steve, welcome, buddy.
Plug. After you unmute. Okay.
Hello, I am Smoke Steve. That's it.
Oh, don't be
Did you
bashful.
have a stream weekly,
awesome,
right?
awesome.
Yeah, I
No.
do on Saturday nights. You know, I don't want to shill it out over here, but yeah, thank you. Come check it out if you want. Saturday night channel called Smoke Steve. Starts around 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. It's a pub setting where we all just hang out and chat. Sometimes we debate, sometimes not. Thank you.
I vouch.
Okay,
Good show.
So, I think I don't know who agrees and doesn't agree here, but let me just start this off real quick with what kind of inspired me to put this even on the poll in our Discord, because we take polls every week, by the way, on what we're going to debate on Thursday night. So if you come to our Discord, there's actually a channel for that. And you can vote, and we'll talk about it. But I actually put up there, or I didn't put up there. RW did. Police interaction with civilians, and it occurred to me, I don't know how many of you guys have seen this yet, and I'll play it for everybody, but the Rebel News, one of the Rebel News reporters was trying to interview a left-wing Canadian politician, and this plainclothes police officer acting as security for this politician literally just like set up a pick in front of him, and when he just kept walking, they then arrested him. So since then, he was released and they dropped the charges. Okay, but just the fact that this happened at all is BS, and it reminds me so much of what I see every single day in these First Amendment audit videos. The police in America and Canada, and it seems like a lot of Western countries, is kind of messed up, and it seems to be geared and being aligned towards opponents of what we would call maybe the, I don't know, progressive agenda, or I don't know what we would call it, but it seems to have been pointed towards that group now ever since the BLM riots. I don't know how many of you agree, but let me at least post this one video. I might play some more later to put this more in context. Let me play this, and I'll make it so everybody can see it in the Discord. 1 second. There we go. And here we go. Look at the deranged look on this guy right here, this cop. They all have that look, man. All the guys like this. It's ego run amok.
Why am I under arrest?
This is crazy, man. Think about like what you're looking at here. It's crazy.
Christian Freeland. I'm a police officer. You're under arrest. What is your name and your badge number?
For assault?
How is that possible? Okay. Because you assaulted me 3 years ago.
Right.
When blackface on.
That's the way it looked to me too.
You mean I was asking questions aggressively? No, your actions were. You were almost pushing everybody over. Lincoln, you got this on video, right? He's saying I'm pushing people over. That's an absolute falsehood. There were feet were shuffling. So now it appeared that way. That's what you're saying, officer. It appeared I was pushing people. I didn't touch a single person.
That was a little bit aggressive for what was happening. Get that. You're under arrest. Please take the microphone out of my face.
Well, I'd like to know going record.
We've decided you're under arrest because we don't like you. Look at this shit. This is crazy, man. Okay, so he continues to like question them as they arrest him, and he basically, you know, lays it all out. They're arresting me because I was going after this politician, and Trudeau, he calls him blackface. Hold on, let me see. Let me put it up here.
I was merely scrumming Minister Freeland, and a RCMP officer blocked me, and evidently this is now a trumped up charge of assault, folks. I didn't come here to cause any trouble. I came here to do my job, and now I'm handcuffed. This is your Canada now, folks. You know, this is the Gestapo taking blackface's orders.
Blackface. He just calls him blackface, Trudeau. So anyway, what do y'all think of that? Let me hear what y'all think. I'm curious.
I watched the beginning of that clip quite a few times, and I was trying to see how much he bumped into him when the cop stood in his way. I think that, I mean, me and Dan were talking about that, like charging in basketball. He rushed against him, for what I can remember, as the most had happened, and then that being trumped up to a assault charge is insane. And even if I was joking, like even in basketball, the cop would have had to have planted feet and be knocked over for it to be a break in the rules. So I don't know. It's extreme. It's extremely out of place.
I mean, it was obviously a setup, and because it was filmed, it never stood a chance of standing.
Right,
I don't know the
always
laws.
film. If you get involved with the police, pull out your phone and start filming. 1000%.
They knew they were being filmed. They knew it was all on film, and they still said exactly what they said. Like you're just like, why are you even falling on your sword right now? Like, what's up?
No, I'm with you.
I would say that since it didn't stick, right, they didn't charge anything. That all they wanted to do at the moment was just stop the what they considered a harassment. So they didn't get anything on them and make the politician look bad. So they were willing to make themselves look bad as opposed to the politician. That's my only opinion on why they were so willing to stick with that.
Right, you see that a lot.
Or it's Canadian law. I don't know. Shit, I don't know.
Well, they actually have they don't have a First Amendment, but they do have pretty similar laws to ours. And they have a similar...
They don't have a Second Amendment either.
Right, and they do have a sort of Bill of Rights and a sort of Constitution that's similar to ours, which does grant similar rights. And so that's why they didn't charge them. But what I'm seeing here is a trend throughout the Western nations where this seemed, ever since the BLM riots, this seems to be happening more and more. And it would not surprise me that they've sifted through and gotten rid of all the people who might be right-leaning or sympathetic to people on the right. And what you have left are people who are either non-political and easily malleable, or people who are political and hate the right. And they're putting them in those positions, and they're going to use them because you're seeing this more and more. It's happening way too much to be just a coincidence. Don't you agree? And especially it's not just these First Amendment audits. There are things that have happened that are not related to First Amendment audits that are very similar, where you have like a journalist, they're just trying to do their job, and these police don't know the laws, don't know the difference between public and private property, which is weird. They don't know these things. They take an oath to the Constitution, yet they don't know what basic rights are. They don't know what there are people who go around and just ask police what the First Amendment are. You would not believe how many do not. They have no idea. It's clear they don't know. What's up with that?
Can I ask what you're comparing this to, though? Is there an era of golden age policing where we saw a lack of misconduct? Because I would argue if you roll this back 30 years before body cam, it was way worse. And if you roll this back to what the cops call the good old days 100 years ago, it was way worse. I would argue we probably have the most transparent and up-to-date legal system that humans have ever been able to conceive. And the only problem right now are the individual, which I watch a lot of audit videos too. If you watch Audit the Audit, you'll get to see both sides of it.
Yeah,
a lot of times
I agree. That's a great one.
Yeah. A lot of times the police are in the right and the people are in the wrong. So
Sometimes, but what really bothers me about a lot of these videos, and you're right, there are a lot of times when the people are in the wrong, but you notice a lot of times when that happens, it's really people who it seems like they don't know. I know that like big ones have gotten in trouble, like Long Island Audit and even Erie County but when you look into these things, it's really trumped up, and it really far more often it seems like it's the police who do not know the laws, and they all have this ego like they know everything and they don't know shit.
Yeah,
Like
well,
even basic stuff.
these are just enforcers. They're low level people on the street. I mean, if you
Feelings enforcers.
if you put a higher, think of it just more of an economic perspective. If you put a higher criteria of becoming an officer on just based on a pure economic rules, you're going to get less people able to take that job. It might filter out people that are ignorant to the law, sure, but it also might filter out people that are better at the job generally, despite being a little more ignorant of the law. So to open that up, to remove these barriers to entry, would allow you to have a larger pool of people to choose from to be police. And I would argue being a good person is probably a higher thing for a police officer to have than a full understanding of the law.
Can I show you something real quick? There was recently, just so you know, like I just want to show how this isn't just like it doesn't just happen to otters, it happens to actual like certified reporters or whatever you want to call it. Shit, I gotta find it here now. But it does happen to them, and you've seen more and more actual U.S. reporters posting these videos where they're trying to get to some public official or something, and the police are unlawfully blocking them, just acting as, like you just said, like enforcers.
I do also kind of want to address the partisan point you brought up as well. I don't think it's something you're doing intentionally, but I do think it's sampling bias. A lot of police in the United States are in positions where their leaders are elected by the voter. And in blue areas or red areas, you're going to get people that have a certain philosophy on the world, put in certain laws, prosecute certain laws, tell their police officers to look the other way for certain things, like maybe homelessness or maybe knowingly giving somebody AIDS, like in California where they decriminalized that. And you heard me. Yep. But you're gonna have certain segments of the country that push their values into the law. I just think the sampling bias comes from the fact that, like, a lot of these areas where you see more press, cameras, and people are blue areas. But I guarantee you, most of the country, landmass wise, probably sides with law enforcement that would more represent what you like.
Well, I don't think that like this is evidence at all that this guy was treated that way because of his political leanings, which is the implication here, right?
Right. Well, Rebel Media is a highly demonized, and that's another thing I want to get into. Was I was really surprised by the amount of these like big Canadian Twitter accounts that came out in support of the police and against Rebel Media, because it's like the kind of thing I'm always talking about, how left wingers are dangerous because they can always kind of rationalize any action. And here we see the same thing again in Canada, where all these left wing accounts are supporting the police, obviously intentionally setting up a situation where they can stop this reporter from asking questions this politician doesn't want to ask in public, and he had every right to ask her. You see the same tactics used here in America by the police.
Jesus. Drone, have you seen the video released by Canadian police warning people not to release
I had it
camera footage of porch pirates because you can be prosecuted for like some level of defamation or of an innocent, presumed innocent person or some shit? I mean,
yeah, I have it right here. If you guys want to watch, I'll play it real quick. I was going to play it, so it's ready to go right now.
That one is fucking beyond the moon, man. Gee.
But I'm going to play it real quick.
Wait, is it relevant to the idea that the police are attacking?
That the police are being turned against. They're being turned against. On one hand, yes, they are being turned against opponents of the left, but overall, they are being turned against the people in general. So I feel like this is a thing the left and right should be able to get together on, and that's why I'm trying to tie that knot here.
It's just Canada. I don't know enough about Canada.
No, it's not just Canada though. Like. This is happening in Canada.
I look up something like reporter being assaulted by police, and there's plenty of videos, and they're not all right-wing videos of reporters getting assaulted
I agree.
by police.
That's why hold on, Cluck. This is why I specifically said this seems to be a thing that's happening more and more since the BLM riots.
Like, so in general, this isn't like this is happening to the right and it's a left-wing ploy. This isn't what you're implying right now?
Well, I'm not saying it's a left-wing ploy. I'm saying that during the BLM riots, the left was able to get a grip on police departments, yes,
And now they're
as
attacking
well as
reporters.
they got a grip on the military. They're getting all of our institutions. They basically have everything now except for the Supreme Court. But
Right.
yeah,
So you're saying that the left has a grip on the police, so now they're attacking reporters.
they're attacking opposition reporters. Yes.
No, the right-wing reporters. Even though I've got video of the police also attacking left-wing reporters.
Which happened when? Which happened when?
There was a whole article.
Well,
There was one from 2020.
Right,
There was
right.
one
I'm
from
not. No, wait.
2023.
Hold on. I'm not totally disagreeing with you because I just told you that I have seen some other. I was just talking about that. There are other videos of other reporters who I don't know their political leanings. It's not like totally obvious, but the police employing the same sort of tactics recently when they're trying to, when it's like a situation where they're trying to interview like a mayor or like a governor or something like that.
Clark,
including Republicans use
don't let-
police to do that. Actually,
So
don't
the
let a
left-
partisan side hold you back from showing.
Nikki
what you have
Haley
to show.
just did it, didn't she?
Okay, so I'm confused about what the claim is. It's a lot of it's being.
Well, I just disproved my own claim. All right, folks. Good night. Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
All right, we can move on to the next one. So the original conversation was based around the experience of civilians and cops interacting with each other, and it wasn't based on left or right. The title made it a little more spicy.
Right. I needed to clickbait people in here. I gotcha.
Gotcha, bitch. So if you want to bring up like any examples of cops and civilians interacting on, for the cop side or for the civilian side, totally, man. It's all fair play.
Yeah, because I do think there's something going on. I really do. And I don't necessarily think it's political, although I do think there are, it seems like a lot more instances popping up now of the law enforcement being used against opponents of the left more than what we saw before. I don't know if that's intentional or not. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just I'm paying more attention to that than others, although I do see it happening on both sides, which is what I want to talk about. So what do you guys think? I do. See, real quick, I'll just say this. Police are definitely undertrained. They do not know very basic things. They take an oath to the Constitution, yet they don't understand that like somebody can record in public and it's not a crime. And if they don't want to give their ID to that cop, they can't just arrest them for obstructing an investigation or some bullshit like that. So too many police think they can do that kind of thing.
Well, I don't think it's just undertrained. I think that public servants all across the country are having trouble, institutions are having trouble getting people to even work for them. So they are having to settle for lower and lower quality people. You see it in the DOC, you see it on Border Patrol. I was doing research on how they're having trouble getting Border Patrol agents. It's all over with all law enforcement institutions.
So why we have the mechanisms in place to deal with this. We have civil courts, civil lawyers, all sorts of shit to deal with it. The police stations get sued all the time. Again, if you look back 60 years from now, police officers would take somebody that gave them a bad attitude out and beat the shit out of them. That doesn't happen anymore. Now we have some dumb, underpaid cop that don't understand the exact laws they're supposed to be following.
You know what I think would be actually really good is if we got really good quality people, we train them, make sure they're very trained in people's rights, and then those people could go out and they're gonna have to deal with bad people, but they have to be able to distinguish between actual bad people and people who are.
I agree. And the good way,
I
the
think
way
we
to
should
get
equity
people,
hire.
The way to get good people is to pay them, and that means your tax dollars go up. So are you willing to pay more money in taxes to have higher quality, higher paid police? And that's something, you do. Your
But do you
local
think it's a profession that's like it's beyond like it's gonna be corrupted? The people who do that job are gonna be corrupted just because. I mean, think about any of you people who have done customer service. Okay, I worked customer service a good chunk of my life, and it made me hate humanity. Now I just try to think of myself if I was a police officer. Like, what would I think of people then? And then you have power to do something about it. You know what I mean? Like,
are y'all ready?
I feel like it's a position that's like you're gonna become corrupted no matter what.
I can't wait for that video.
Yeah, are y'all ready for a pretty brutal video?
I'm ready for a video. I just want to make the point that I don't believe all cops are bastards at all. I'm not coming at this in any way, shape, or form that it's an absolute, because I have interacted with some amazing cops that will give their life to do what they joined the force for. So I just want to put my 2 cents in there.
I agree. I mean, a lot of people get into the police force for good reasons. Sometimes they end up tired, they just burn out, and they end up mistreating people because they're taking out frustrations on the wrong people. I mean, it happens. DOC also.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like you give these people this power, and then they're just having a bad day, and they know that most people don't know their rights. And like I just watched a video today where the officers are piling up like 9 people on a guy on a bike because he doesn't want to give up his ID because he was trying to pump up his tires at night at a place, and they're like, all these cops swarm, they're demanding his ID. And he's like, no, I didn't do anything. But they're like, he's like, so he's like, what's your suspicion of crime that you want my ID? And they say, well, you're suspicious. He's like, that's not a crime. They're like, but you have to give us your ID, and if you don't, that's suspicious. And he's like, if I stand up for my rights, that's suspicious.
And
you see where
the time to fight that is in court, in civil court, after they violate your rights.
I disagree. Because when you give into that, you're just like, your rights are decaying over time. They're atrophying.
Yeah, but they get in trouble after that. They have to go to the classes or whatever. I really want to see this 9-year-old.
No, but they'll get in trouble if they violate your rights, and then you got a lawsuit. So no, you're better. I think you're better in standing up for your rights before the court.
Yeah, I think you could stand up for them. What you can't do is resist arrest.
That's
That's
a very
don't resist
line.
arrest.
Very
don't
fine
resist
line.
arrest ever.
Exactly.
I'm not saying that at all.
Personally, I say if you're getting,
if they
your
want to
rights
arrest you,
violated,
let them, because they really are.
Yeah, you bait them into as much shit as you can get them to do. You get them to throw you on the ground. You know, you get them to fucking cuff you.
Let them give up their qualified immunity. You'll get their pensions.
But yeah, like, I wouldn't argue it on the street. You wait till that's the next step. And you take it to court. Show them.
No, I say stand up for your rights to the point that they want to violate them, and then let them do it.
Yeah. All right, let's watch a 9-year-old get pepper sprayed, please.
Yeah, so this one is
before you go. No, sorry, I'm letting you go. But is there anything we have to do? Do we have to talk over this video or anything so we don't get flagged? Just as a question for stream.
Shouldn't. It's a very. There's no gore or anything, but watching a 9-year-old girl get pepper sprayed.
No, I know it's absurd. Yeah, it's absurd. Like, why would
we
they
don't even have to watch the video. You can read the title, but these cops.
Yeah, like,
way out
why
of
do we
line.
have to watch it? Just the fact that they did it. We know.
I want to see.
Why?
I want to see this.
The reason I picked this video is because
I'm not going to show it. You guys can play it.
When this first came out, I did a video on it, and I just think this is like an example of particularly of how like cops can be bastards.
Just show the video.
Cops are great.
Show it. Go for it, man. Show it to the Discord. If you guys want to see it, come to the Discord. I'm not going to show it. You can hear it, I guess.
Oh, this one. Yeah, I remember this one. Yeah. Okay.
Like, it's a 9-year-old. Why would you employ pepper spray? That's insane.
It's even worse than that because she was in the car at the time they sprayed her.
Yeah.
I like how they're saying she's having a mental event.
See,
but being ripped out of the car by cops could probably cause that.
This is why I hate that the media focuses in on examples that are not good examples, and they blow those up. When there's actually, like, there's good ones out there they should blow up that happen to people of all colors, but they don't want that. They're like so focused on a very certain like narrative. To the point where even if it doesn't fit it, they will make it fit, even if they have to lie.
Here, take this.
I'd just like to point
Like
out
they're
that
offering
this
her some a
happened in
gift.
New York.
I think he said deer with a D, D-E-A-R.
I guess that's better.
So one thing, if in the DOC, if you have to use pepper spray on a grown inmate, you immediately take them to get medical care. So the fact that they sprayed her and then just left her in the back of that car is fucking terrible.
I don't understand pepper spray is used to calm some
forces. It just seems like they're
to gain advantage in a fight.
Idiots.
Yeah, to me, it's along the same lines as if you're getting bit to shit by some fucking dog, and they're like, "Stay calm, calm down, sir." You're like, it's biting my leg.
That's what that video reminded me of.
Be
like
calm, sir.
Like a dog running out and not even attacking the cop.
It's tearing my intestines out. Get on the ground.
It's crazy.
It is, but see, what really turns me off is when people try to make it like a race issue. And look, I'm sure that there is a component there because obviously, if there's like this basically a nationwide gang, if you want to look at it that way, there's probably going to be a good chunk of those that are like specifically like they hate black people, right? So like I don't think that's completely off the mark, but I think that the issue isn't racial for the most part because I just see it happening to like so many like white people or anybody. Well, really, I don't see it ever happening to Asians for some reason, but it seems like white people and black people, the cops really go after both groups.
I
That's
don't
because
see it being
Asian
racial
people
at all.
it's,
I see
it's
it being
because
an underfunding of cops and just
'cause-
them doing really retarded shit because of it.
Right, for sure. The cops just do a lot of dumb shit, and a lot of it is just ego. You see the same thing with just like regular people on the street. Like you see these auditors that go out and they just record in public, and just regular people come up and they act just like the police. It's weird. Like they act the exact same way. Like they have all this authority and they can order you around and they can assault you even because they don't want you to record or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just weird how like regular people take on that same mentality.
Sure is.
Oh,
So are
that's
we
the
done
word-
with this topic or
That's
I
authoritarianism.
mean,
and
we could talk about
Right, that's
whether or
what-
not it's a racial component. That would actually spark a bit of a debate, I think.
Well, I maybe there is. I would say there probably is to some degree, but it's an issue that really affects everybody because maybe whatever is leading to that is the same thing that's leading to what we're seeing in all these videos on YouTube.
I like watching videos where like police
All right.
chiefs get pulled over drunk and then like ask for professional courtesy and get turned down because it shows you like that last bastion of police on police like camaraderie is going out the window.
Right. Yeah, and you'll see that a lot where police are doing things that are clearly not right, and the other cops are going along with it, and that's why I think a big problem. It's because it is sort of a gang, and they're all together no matter what.
all right. So I gotta
I
ask.
would disagree with that
with
across
the,
the nation. I don't think they're all
They used to
together.
call that the thin blue line.
Go ahead,
Right,
Riddle.
the thin blue line flag in itself is a desecration. I really don't agree with that. I used to, and I don't anymore. I can see the issue with it. The flag itself is almost like a gang sign. It separates them from everybody else, which they're already separated from us. They are like our overwatchers, almost like prison guards, you
I would-
know.
I
And
don't think
they
I would
almost
dis-
act
I
like
would
that.
disagree-
I
I would
wouldn't
disagree
say
on
they
your
separate
interpretation of that.
Same.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
why?
It's almost like a gang sign, like MS-13 or something like that. The ones that are
The
actually
thin blue
being-
line, American
Yeah.
flag,
It's like
absolutely.
saying wearing an
Yeah.
Amazon hat
how
if you're in
is
USPS
that?
is a gang sign. I don't.
Well,
that's-
for one, it goes against the U.S. code for the American flag. You cannot
really?
desecrate. Yeah.
So you think coloring it as opposed to burning it is a desecration?
Well, you're changing the meaning of it for one. Like the flag is supposed to unite us, and when you turn it black and white and put a thin blue line on it, you're making it like representative of something else, and
So who-
especially when that group
No,
that it
I-
represents has a lot of
I
force
think
and
it does
authority
the
over every
absolute
other group.
opposite because they're putting.
It's
themselves
very
in and saying
divisive.
we
It's
are
very
a part of the
divisive.
American people. I'd say the exact opposite. I'd say they're saying
What?
that they're a part of the American people. That's why they're putting
No.
it in the American flag.
Don't
That's
so
what-
just have the American flag then.
Then they-
That's
if they-
the
if they
flag
didn't wanna-
unites us.
If they
The-
didn't
what
wanna
is the
be-
point? Tell me, what's the
they
point of a
didn't want to
flag?
be with the American
What's the point of a
people, they burn
flag?
the fucking American flag like BLM, and then they just make an entirely new one that's all blue.
It's
That's
just
not
like the
what they're
freaking
doing.
pride flag. It's like a separate flag to unite around.
The pride-
Yeah,
I don't like it.
It seems like an us against
You
them
don't have to
thing
like
to
it,
me
but I
too.
don't
It
think
is. It's
pride
divisive,
anyway
and the
whatsoever.
flag is guys. The
With the
United
no,
States
no.
flag is supposed to unite us. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
of course, but
And you think the
So
thin
does
blue line is
everybody
supposed to
agree with the
divide us?
blue line flag?
Do you think that?
Did we
do you
all
think
agree
that-
on that?
what do you mean
What the-
agree on it?
That
Like,
doesn't,
No,
that
well-
doesn't prove
good or bad?
that doesn't prove your point whether we agree on it or not. Of course,
Oh,
it's
it
supposed to unite
doesn't?
people. No,
The-
yeah,
the-
exactly. It
That's
It's very
doesn't.
divisive. Listen to
so-
us.
What the,
Not
look
divisive.
at look at
I
the
would say
media.
divisive.
Look at the media. You think they have a thing to rally around when the media's been demonizing them the entire time?
1 second, Steve.
Yeah.
That's like
Right.
saying like my kid. Oh,
Yeah, just let Steve go and then take your turn.
I was just going to say the thin blue line has nothing to do with the American flag. Originally, it was a stick, an expression, and then it was made a sticker, or actually like a front license plate that undercover cops would put on their cars. And then the movie was made, and then people started making the American flag with the blue line on it, the red line on it, whatever. But the thin blue line, obviously, originally was the line was what separated the criminals of society to the law-abiding citizens, were the police. I mean, I don't know where the American flag part of it came in, but that was well after the original.
Well, it is the American flag. It's the American flag with it's black and white. I don't like the black and white American flag at all, period. Because it's like, what is that? What's the point
saves
of
on
that?
printing
I
costs.
think it's showing that they've
But-
been there since like the beginning of America. Like they're an old institution almost. I think that's what it's supposed to mean, but maybe I'm over it.
Okay, well, I just like the American flag. I don't like the pride flag. I don't like the BLM flag. I don't like the blue line flag. I don't like the red line
But
flag.
the
I don't like.
reason
I
why
like the American flag.
BLM and the pride flag are
And
so
public
divisive is because
officials
they're
should not
the
be wearing a
American
separate flag.
That's the entire point of them. They're not the American flag. They're separating themselves from the American people. That's the entire point of why they are divisive.
Right. I don't like it.
So,
That,
yeah,
like,
so-
I don't make an
Exactly.
argument for it.
Line is
Yeah, exactly. So if one group does it, then why can't the other? I don't understand.
What do you mean?
I wouldn't even say
If
they're
if
doing
one
the
group
same
does
thing.
it, why can't the other? Well, that's a pretty straightforward question.
If
one
what
group has
one
a
group
flag
does
that's
it?
divisive politically, like a rainbow flag.
No, but the
why can't the
police
other?
are a public entity.
So are
They should
so are
reflect the
so are
public.
our politicians whom wear rainbow badges on Congress.
Oh
I
no,
don't
I
understand.
agree. No, I agree with you there. I totally agree. I'm not disagreeing at all.
Well, a
on that.
rainbow
I
badge isn't a
I wouldn't compare
bastardized
the
version
two. I
of the
think they're
American
both
flag.
extremely
Though.
I mean, people should be able to wear and express themselves however they want to. But as far as public officials go, I think it's different. Yeah.
It may be okay. So what'd you say, Steve? You said it was like a
Well,
bastardized version.
you said public officials wear rainbow badges. A rainbow badge wouldn't be a bastardized version of the American flag, being that it was not the original, meaning the black and
Right.
white, the blue line, the red line, whatever. But is there an American flag version that's rainbow? Maybe I'm not aware of that.
No,
think
I don't know about that.
I'm
don't-
sure you can. I'm sure. I'm sure it's there.
I'm just against the pride flag
one,
just
I don't
because it's
think
fucking weird and culty and the way it keeps changing and morphing and all that.
But
Oh, man,
rainbows
well-
are great.
And the
Well,
way
Yeah,
they
rainbows
were
are cool. Hey,
They
they're still
were.
rainbows.
Something
Rainbows
about
are still
Hunter
cool.
Biden.
Rainbows are still cool.
Yeah,
I
damn
hate
right.
rainbows.
All right, so we're gonna talk about Hunter Biden.
Yeah, I thought that's what we're
Before-
gonna do.
Yeah.
You shift away. Let me give a chance for
Hunter
the
Biden
note
did
that
crack.
Ashley
That
had.
is not good. Very bad.
So Ashley was making a point earlier. She said, look into the fact that the police, sheriff's department, and troopers are being armed by the federal government with free military-grade equipment to use against civilians. I don't have a source for that, but I just
do
we're
you
curious.
mean
to
No, it's
hear
by
that.
true.
military
It's true.
grade?
It's
all
true.
that all that
Military
equipment
grade.
all that equipment they're sending to Ukraine, they were giving to police departments.
I'm fine with that.
The
I'm absolutely
anti-air
fine with
missiles?
that. Yeah.
Not that
The
stuff, like
anti-air
the
missiles.
Civilian drones.
no, like the MRAPs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm fine with them having rifles. I
And the
don't see a
Humvees and
problem
that
with
stuff.
that.
I think
Is
they
an
absolutely
MRAP
need.
like a Cliff Bar?
Yeah, they need them.
They absolutely need rifles. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see a problem with that at all.
Hell no.
There you go, Ashley. The group
I don't
has
think there's a
spoken.
problem with them having big armored vehicles either, because if there's a
They need more
fucking-
tanks.
I'd put that to people who are more better trained, like SWAT, but like
There you
armored
go.
vehicles and stuff.
Yeah.
Or
I
like if
think
they're
that-
arming their police cars, I wouldn't care. That's fine. Yeah, sure.
I think the problem is that if you give it to them, they will use them, and not in ways that you didn't really want them to use them.
I haven't seen
e-
a single video where an officer has unfairly shot someone with an AR-15. If anyone wants to provide me with one, I'd be more than happy to see it.
Oh, just look
Unfairly?
at the Las Vegas hotel.
Unfairly?
Yeah,
Really?
unjustly, whatever you want to call it.
Well, I
The
mean,
Las
okay,
Vegas-
no,
Show you
hold
a
on.
video of that?
No. Forg, you need to specify
Actually,
that
no,
because
no,
no.
actually,
You need
no.
to specify unfairly because what he means is not unfairly, but intentionally unfairly.
Was it Las Vegas or Reno? Remember when that
Where the
guy
guy was
got
drunk on the ground.
That
Yeah,
drunk
I
guy,
remember
yeah.
that Right now, yeah, where he pointed a BB
Yeah.
gun out the window, and then they brought him
Yeah.
out, and they're like, "Crawl towards me, backwards,
crawl towards me?
up,
Show me your hands.
And then
Put
they
your hands
rode him
down your
down.
hand, up, down." Simon says.
I didn't say Simon Says.
Yeah, then they killed him, right?
And then they killed him.
Right.
Well,
That's
there you
just a
go.
guy
There's
wanted to kill somebody. He's like,
That's-
oh, this is my chance.
That's a legitimate
didn't
example,
say
Forg.
I mean, they've also destroyed people's houses with these armored personnel carriers.
Well,
Oh yeah, there's so much. And the
what
no-knock
I kinda
warrants.
meant
I mean,
is-
I don't like the no-knock warrants. I never have.
What I
Okay,
kind
guys.
of meant there is what would have gone differently if they had a
Go
pistol
on.
instead of an AR. I don't think anything would have gone down differently.
I'm going to tell
Luck.
you an example of really, really heinous abuse of police authority. I am playing Fable right now, and all I did was agree to not tell the wife that the husband is cheating on her, and now the guard is mad at me. What kind of bullshit is that?
You're playing Fable?
Yes.
The first one?
Yes.
First Fable?
That's so funny. That's
That's
so
a good
funny,
one.
man. I don't know why, but I just had this urge recently to play an MMO, and I was just asking RW about that. Like, what's the play out there? I don't even know. That's funny. You're
if
playing
you start
Fable, though.
playing-
I told you what to do, man. Damn.
If you start playing New World, let me know.
He did give you a suggestion and
Isn't
you
that
didn't
the
listen.
Amazon game? New
It's a
World?
free one
No,
too.
I
he said,
downloaded
right?
it. I did it. I downloaded it, installed it on my laptop upstairs. So
Are you, dude? Are you sure
Hell
you can really
yeah.
tackle an MMO right now, though?
Probably not.
Okay.
You
Probably
can
not.
tackle this one.
Riot's supposed to be coming out with an MMO. People are pretty excited about that.
Last Dance, that's massively multiplayer online game. Is that right? I looked it up.
Correct. Yes, that's like World of Warcraft, that kind of game.
All right.
I was thinking about playing New World because people were saying that it's good now and you can play it real casually. So I was thinking about that. I don't know.
Yeah, if you play New World, let me know. I've got a character on there that's barely been leveled up, so we could do like quests
Yeah,
and shit together.
I've just been watching videos on it, and apparently it was awful, and it's gotten better, so I might try it. But
Probably not
so
as good as Roman
should we get
Magna, though.
into
Hunter
should we
Biden,
get
the
into
one that-
like Hunter
please.
Biden and the double standards and all that stuff?
Yes.
Yeah. And
Sure.
you know what? I think that pepper spray was justified.
I think it was too. That night
Yeah,
was
you-
out of place. She was a danger.
I'm just kidding, dude. You know what? It should have been
good
bear
call.
mace. It should have been military grade bear mace. That's what it should have been.
And they should have
They shoulda-
tased her too.
They need an armor
Yeah.
class.
And the
Let
taste-
her-
Drop the JDAM on it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, liberal cluck. You gotta segue it into what you're after, man. You're yawning, so
Yeah.
do it.
I
Let me
mean,
hear
I'm not
what
the
you
one
have to
making
say.
the affirmative claim here.
Okay, so I guess it's me. So we were arguing earlier over the fact that. So Hunter Biden did this stunt yesterday, or was it? Yeah, it was yesterday, and where he went to the vote to hold him in contempt for not showing up for his congressional subpoena, and he made a big stunt of it, and of course the media went along with it. They loved it, and I made a video about it, and that's par for the course because this all started. The whole modern era of ignoring congressional subpoenas started with Eric Holder, who was Barack Obama's attorney general, and that was over Fast and Furious. When Republicans tried to hold him in contempt for that, Democrats walked out of the vote and they made this big stunt of it. The media loved it at the time. They loved it, of course, because when Republicans do these things, it's just a political partisan stunt, and to mock it and to ignore it is what you should do. But when Democrats do it, it's totally different. The standards are completely different. And I just am curious how liberal Cluck is going to defend that. Like you had Steve Bannon, who ignored his congressional subpoena. And then, of course, that was a huge bad thing. Raskin and all these other Democrats went in the media. I can play some videos where they basically said, this is just how you're supposed to do it. Here, you want me to play one here real quick? Let me just play that. So essentially, they had one standard for Republicans and there's another for Democrats, which is always how it seems to go. And let me play this. Did you watch that, by the way? The video I posted for you, Cluck?
I don't
In main
know.
chat. I'm gonna scroll up to it here and just play it from Discord. I know it's in here somewhere.
And may I say that video was fabulous drone tech, and that redheaded.
Oh, the
dumbass
one that
ditzy
you
reporter,
posted of yourself? No, I didn't watch that one.
Awesome.
Oh, you know what? I should just play that. Why am I not just playing that? Because I can just skip to the part. Let me just play that. This stream is very professional as always.
Super.
Oof. All right, here we go.
It sounds like Hunter Biden right now. Okay. If we want to
Sorry.
start walking this way, But
Oh, I gotta share
he
it,
could
right?
be on his way right now. As I said, this is part of the Hunter Biden's effort right now.
Okay, so let me just play this.
Hey, that's you.
I know that guy.
Ugh. Hold on a second. I can't watch it because I can't get my mouse back.
Hold on, you didn't watch it?
I couldn't get my
All right,
mouse
let me
back
do it one more
because I
time.
was on the full screen game.
Are you watching?
Yeah, I'm
Clock?
watching now.
So you know where I'm coming from? Are you gonna watch?
Yeah, I got it now. I couldn't get my mouse back. I was in a full screen game, and then when I pressed exit, it didn't come back.
All right, here we go. One more time.
Look at that
Into
face.
that, a quick history lesson. The modern trend of ignoring congressional subpoenas was started by Democrats back in 2012 when they launched a similar stunt at a vote to hold Barack Obama's AG in contempt for ignoring congressional subpoenas in regards to the Fast and Furious scandal. Walking out of the vote, which of course CNN and MSNBC loved at the time. Then of course, those standards went right out the window when a Republican ignored congressional subpoenas, Steve Bannon, and was then sentenced to 4 months in prison.
Oh, that was different.
That brings us to the present, where the rule. All right, but hold on. I gotta let me show this part too, real quick. Here we go.
Don't skip Noble Gold, man.
Themselves use the exact same procedures when dealing with witnesses. This is related to prepare. J6 and Trump's impeachment. Like in 2019, when Here we House go. Oversight Democrats wanted to bring in Donald Trump Jr., Eric, and Ivanka in for closed-door testimony. Or like in 2022, when Steve Bannon offered to testify before the J6 committee in public.
Oh, that was different.
But Democrats went out to the media.
Steve Bannon, who's now in
Here we go. This is what I wanted you to see.
willing to testify in public.
Volume.
Now, as a member of the January 6th committee, Congresswoman Zoe Lofgren of California, would it be a public hearing or would it be behind closed doors?
Ordinarily, we do depositions. This goes on for hour after hour after hour. We want to get all our questions answered, and you can't do that in a live format.
Oh, that was different.
Or how about when Jamie Hold on. Raskin insisted on Yeah, this closed-door is- testimonies?
The lesson is, please tell your children out there in America, if you get a subpoena to go before Congress or you get a subpoena to go to the court, go. You have a legal responsibility to go.
Would it be closed door with Bannon, or do you want to? Because he could go up there and pontificate.
Oh, he could go
We
pontificate.
have treated every single witness.
Better
The
than
reporter
defecate,
said that.
probably.
Come in, they talk to the committee. If they're going to take a deposition, they're sworn under oath. It's videotaped, it's recorded, and then we take it from there.
Now that is irony.
Okay, so yeah, there you go. So you have to explain now, Cluck, why suddenly the standards now changed for Hunter Biden.
Okay, John Tech, when we went through this, I don't understand how is it that I can put into your Discord that examples of 3 Republican MAGA, I'm pretty sure at
Right.
least one of them is MAGA congressmen who did the same thing, ignored subpoenas, and did not get charged for it. And you're just like acting like that didn't happen.
Right, that's the standard. So why are they acting like this now? Why are they
Acting like
now
that
acting
towards-
like this for Hunter Biden?
No, they did not get charged. The MAGA people
Right.
did
No,
not.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying no. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the closed door. So the media was really defending. Maybe I skipped over that, but
Don't check.
the media is
I don't
defending
ever
Hunter
come
Biden.
on here to defend the media.
No, listen.
Okay.
Listen. They're saying that what Hunter
Not
Biden's
even his
doing is
media?
good. That's right. That he should. That he showed up for this thing and he's willing to do a public testimony, but that Republicans are somehow in the wrong for demanding that he do a closed door
So,
testimony.
for one, you're making this judgment very quickly, very soon. They actually voted to recommend to charge Hunter Biden. Why are the Democrats?
I don't care about that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this like sudden change of heart in the media. I just showed you a video of literally a CBS News reporter interviewing Raskin saying, "Oh, shouldn't you get him privately? You don't want him doing publicly because he could pontificate.
Don't check.
He could pontificate. You don't want him to do it. Did you see that?
Don't check. I am not here to defend the media. I have always said that cable media is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, but the
Like,
media
I've
and the
always said
Democrats
that.
are one and the same. They are one and the same.
No, they're
so what?
not.
Like, oh, okay.
Look,
What's the difference? What's the difference in the
online-
media stance on this and the
Online
Democrats?
journals are they're not perfect. They make mistakes. They make mistakes all the time, but they are way better than cable news.
I'm talking about CBS, like CBS News, okay,
I
which is
don't-
network.
I don't defend network news. I hate cable
So what
news.
are you defending? What are you defending?
Well, I'm trying to. You think that there's this double standard, like within the system as a whole? It's that what I was arguing yesterday.
The media are the enforcers of the standard.
Oh my goodness.
They are
So-
the ones who enforce whatever standard.
So when it comes to like how the outside of the media, when it comes to how these two groups of people, you would say it's been pretty much the same, right? When it comes to being
Are you
charged-
saying, can I rephrase the question? Are you asking him if the media is not used and he were to just go to a court and watch one person be treated a certain way and go to the other court and another person be treated the other way, would he still see it? Is that the question?
Kind of, but it's not just like one person. It's like the group overall, because he's making the claim that the right gets
nothing
treated
happened to
different.
Eric Holder, and then Steve Bannon got sentenced to 4 months in prison.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he ever has done it yet. I think that's still looming. I couldn't find like I looked. I couldn't find really
I think
anything
it
about it.
wasn't
He got sentenced, and it hasn't happened yet.
He might have.
Or maybe it did. Maybe
pardoned?
it happened in secret.
It's on appeal.
Oh, it's on appeal.
Oh, it's on
okay.
appeal. That's right. I did. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so Steve Bannon got sentenced. So Steve Bannon got sentenced to 4 years. Those 3 congressmen whose names I do not remember, but they were MAGA congressmen.
So, hold on. Address that. What's with that difference?
Not 4 years.
With that difference,
4 months. Hold on. Address that. What's the difference? Eric Holder, nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
And Democrats walk out of the vote to hold him in contempt, and the media applauds it. Then you got Steve Bannon, where the media is gunning for his ass, and then he gets 4 months in prison.
I think it's probably
yummy.
I think it's probably pretty arbitrary. Go ahead, Tyler.
Oh, arbitrary.
Obama used executive privilege. He allowed Eric Holder to use executive privilege in that circumstance.
Don't you go dying on
And
me,
then
Tyler.
Trump did not allow Bannon, correct?
I don't know if
I think what happened. I think what happened.
No, that did come up. That did come up with
yeah,
Bannon.
but I
like
think
you
I
just
got that
talked about.
wrong. I think it was Biden who actually waived the executive privilege.
Waived it for who?
Or Secret Service protection.
From Steve Bannon.
I don't know how he could do that.
Because he's the executive.
But these are
I'm Rick James, bitch.
That occurred when Trump was president.
I mean, the court held it up, so I don't know if there's precedent for it for the past, but yeah, he's the executive. He's got the authority of what falls under executive privilege now, and I think that's probably for the best, because if you find that a president is abusing executive privilege, like let's say trying to use it to keep people from testifying when the information actually wasn't dangerous to be out in the public, they just don't want to be testified against, the next president can waive that and force the testimony.
Do you have a squirrel in your shirt?
Me? No, it's a microphone.
Oh.
I wish it was a squirrel.
We don't judge here.
Squirrels in his pants, not in his shirt.
True.
No, there's just like
Don't
a
ask
poofy
about the
tail
gerbil.
coming out of his. There's like a poofy tail coming out of his shirt. And he has a headphone mic, so I was confused. I was like,
Yeah,
what
so
is
this
that?
one's going for Discord. This one's a higher quality, so I'm recording it for using it for my stream.
Oh, right on. That makes sense. Okay, I'm sorry. Proceed.
But yeah,
Hey, World War III is trending on Twitter.
yeah. The president has the right to waive executive privilege, even those that were claimed by former presidents.
All right, speaking of squirrels, as soon as Drone Tech gave the mic back to you, he literally was like, squirrel.
Squirrel. Yeah.
Yeah, Newsweek's talking about how.
Yeah, I want to say that I didn't have a single drink until tonight when I last said that I wasn't.
Boo, Drone Tech,
Executive
boo.
privilege away from Navarro. From
Very good.
I'm not drinking heavily though, just a little drink.
What were you saying, Tyler?
I'm just pointing out Biden took executive privilege away from Bannon, Navarro, and several other people.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. But yeah, that looks like that's the difference, Drone Tech. One had executive privilege, the other one didn't.
Okay, and then we come to Hunter Biden.
Uh-huh.
Yay.
And Hunter Biden ignored his congressional subpoena
And
because
he's been
he, for whatever
recommended for
reason,
charges.
right? Okay,
Not
but hold on.
recommended.
Well, see, and so I'm not allowed to bring up the media's reaction to this at all. Like,
Yeah, because I
you think
agree
they
with
have
you.
no?
The media is
Hold on,
biased, and I don't like them.
Okay, but you think they have no influence over this, over these situations?
Maybe, but what are we going to argue about?
We don't have
Well,
to
if you
argue.
well, if you agreed, so you agree with me that the media is enforcing double standards on this.
Yes, the cable news media, yes, for sure.
Okay, well, good night, folks.
Like, I've never disagreed with that. Like,
we got 8 more.
There has been so many times that you have brought up something that like CNN, cable news has done that was bad, and I'm like, yes, that's bad. Why are we still arguing about this?
The media is the ultimate evil, and they're the bad guys.
I don't think they're the
I have a
ultimate
question.
evil.
I have a question.
Yeah,
I
they
have a
get it
question.
wrong most sometime.
What for Cluck or anyone here? What do you think was meant to happen when Hunter went to that court hearing in the way that he did? Like, what did that mean to you?
Which one? This first one or the second one?
The most recent one. The most recent one.
He was just trying to troll the Republicans.
Do you think it worked out for him?
I think so.
As soon as he started getting questioned, he got up and ran. I meant to include that in my video. I forgot, but yeah, that was the funniest part. The second he started getting questioned by MGT,
Marjorie?
he got up and ran.
Is there any way, if you play the devil's advocate, that he left for another reason?
He had he had to take a
He had to poop.
Bathroom break.
He's like, oh, I gotta
Well,
shit.
he
He's like,
left
he's like, this crack's making me have to shit.
He left. He left when MTG came up, right?
Yes.
When it was her turn to go, yeah.
Who wants
Right,
to hear?
but just before that, he had smoked some crack.
Who actually wants to hear Marjorie Taylor Greene, the space laser lady, talk?
Is that your excuse?
She never said Jewish space laser.
No, hold on. I didn't say Jewish. Hold on. You're putting words in my mouth, and I know that there are people that put the Jewish part into MTG's mouth. I'm saying space lasers.
Are you saying space lasers aren't real?
I'm saying that they didn't cause the fires.
Oh, how do you know that?
Because they were investigated.
Whatever. Oh, they were investigating. The government
drone.
investigated themselves and found they did nothing wrong, huh?
She does a surprisingly decent job on the House Oversight Committee. I've watched her a few times.
I think MG
Yeah, you
pretty
did.
damn hot.
She did a surprisingly good job with the whole Mann Act thing. I think she was all right. She wasn't impressive or anything, but she was all right. She's as good as any other person in the House Senate.
You have a
area.
crush. We know.
No, Ilhan
No,
Omar.
I think she's kind of crazy. I think MGT's kind of crazy, but that's also kind of hot.
I mean, don't the two
Move over,
usually go hand
Pelosi.
So, Drone Tech, real quick, you think the government took its space lasers and started the fires in Hawaii? Is that what
No,
you
I
were
don't
kind
think
of-
that. I don't. No, I don't think
You
that.
kind
but
of were saying that.
No, I'm just saying his response, his arguments against it. I'm just like rolling my
Yeah, I
eyes.
don't know
because
why
it's
Hunter
like,
Biden got up when
That
MTG
is-
came up. I think that's you guys like trying to make a story out of nothing. Like he wasn't even supposed to be there in the first place. So
I did see one weird video of fires in Canada where it looked like a bunch of fires started from space. Did you guys see? Everybody saw that video, right?
No,
where
no,
it looked like a whole bunch.
Yes.
Where it looked like a whole bunch of fires started at like pinpoint locations at the same time.
Like a flash
Yeah,
mob.
I never saw any verification of.
Well,
who did
widely
that.
spread, like by probably hundreds of miles.
Yeah, it seemed like they all started simultaneously.
Right, like a whole bunch of them. Yeah. They were widely spread. Like these were not close by each other.
So,
But they
just
all started at the same time. I'll find it. One
quick
second.
question. Do
But
you
it
think
could be not real. I have no idea.
Quick question. Do you think that Southern California might have been the test bed in Ventura County a few years ago?
It's the test bed for most other things, so it's logical.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Test
It's very
bed for
true.
what?
These space lasers using fires and stuff like that, right?
Why would you use a space laser to make a fire on Earth when you could just throw a match?
Because why is that cool?
I just did a search. I just did a search, guys. I got to show you this. Look, I just did a search on Twitter. Hold on, I got to share this with everybody. I'll do it quickly, but everybody come in and look.
Clark, while we're
On
watching
Twitter.
this,
Look,
I have a
look. This
question.
is
Hold
Elon
on.
Musk's Twitter. All right, hold
Just
on.
while we're
Go
watching this. Damn it. You said that Hunter wasn't supposed to be at that
Oh,
hearing,
Jesus
but at the same
Christ.
time, he was supposed to be at the hearing, right?
I'm
No,
like
that-
looking
that
for the
hearing-
video and I see that.
That
like, what
hearing,
the fuck?
that hearing wasn't the one that he was subpoenaed to. That
Hey,
was the
there
first time he showed up.
Don't scroll up. Either.
You
Okay,
be
good.
careful what you're
I'm not.
scrolling.
I clicked back. I know.
Dude, I
clicked
saw
back.
I saw that shit. That was
I know. What the fuck, dude? What the... That's like.
I'm glad I missed that.
yeah.
That's what I got with searching for smoke and fires.
Why are you
Well,
searching for? Wait, are you searching for information on space lasers starting fires on Twitter?
No, I wanted. I just want to find this video I saw. It's probably bullshit.
Okay. You're looking for something specific. Okay, that's forgivable.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude.
No, I'm not. I'm not that level of. In fact, I'm very skeptical.
Dude, I seriously.
I'm a very
Yo,
skeptical
does
guy.
anyone here know Bread?
Yes.
The band?
Bread?
Band?
Yeah.
I think he gets all
Yeah.
of his news exclusively on Twitter. It's insane.
The
Like
band?
the
no.
70s,
Yeah,
the
that's like
early,
boomers. A lot of boomers.
the
A
late
lot of boomers
60s,
are like
early
that.
70s, man.
My mom. I have all
Brett's
these.
no.
I need clarification.
No,
I need clarification. The band?
No, check this out. Check this out. Let me just tell you this real quick. My brother, he's married to this girl who her parents are divorced, and her father is a fan of mine. It just turns out that way. He just happens to be like he's been watching my channel forever, and he's total nut. And so like that side of the family, like my brother's wife's side of the family thinks I'm like a nut, and like I'm the one who turned him into that.
They should call
Well,
you
he could
Almond
be
Joy.
Could be watching. Right?
It's like this guy messages me all the time on Facebook. I just ignore him. He sends me all these insane links. And it's like my mom sends me these same kind of links. I'm just like I just ignore it.
So what happened with Hunter Biden was that he was supposed to go to his hearing. He showed up at the hearing, but he didn't actually go into like the room and everything where he was supposed to go into. And he did a press conference on the day of his hearing. So he was like, "I'm here. You guys can question me. But we're going to do it in public." And then when that didn't happen, he left. And then the second hearing was a hearing on whether or not they were going to recommend charges for contempt of Congress. And he showed up for that one seemingly to troll the Republicans.
Do you think that worked out for him? You said you thought it worked out for him. How did it work out for him?
The whole not showing up for the hearing, that's going to really depend on whether or not he goes to jail for it. The trolling the Republicans part, I think it worked out. It got some good clips, and there was a lot of talk about it. And I think that he's like, because like the left doesn't really like Hunter Biden, but if he's trolling the Republicans, they seem to like it.
All right,
But-
hey, I found this video I was telling you guys about.
No, that's a very shallow reason, honestly.
Why it worked out for him?
It's
No,
all a
I
good
mean-
distraction for him. It's great for him because it's all a good distraction from the pay-for-play Biden scheme that he was hosting for years. So it's a win.
What is the new view, though? I don't understand what he now looks like. A guy that
They're
trolls
not talking
Republicans?
about
That's now the new look?
money. They're not talking about money going to Joe Biden right now. They're talking about Hunter Biden
Yeah,
trolling
he's-
Tyler, are you
Republicans.
being serious?
He's flipped the news cycle.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, that's
He-
crazy, Tyler. I would love to debate you on whether or not there was like a actual corrupt thing between Hunter and Joe and Burisma.
Wouldn't be much of a debate. It was pretty bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Send me your sources, and I'd love to look at them.
Show us your
I want
paper.
you guys to
I got-
debate, but let me show you space lasers real quick.
This is all from the hearing. I went through all. I've watched the Hunter Biden hearings and the impeachment inquiry like 4 times.
Okay. Yeah, send that to me. I'll read through it, and we can set up a debate. Unless I end up agreeing with you, and then there's nothing to debate.
Yeah, I'm sure if I laid it out for you in a way, you'll be like, "Oh, this is pretty." There's still it's not complete. There's still a little bit of holes in it. They know
It's
that
a
the
miracle.
Biden's taken money. They know that there were actions taken. What they can't do is link Joe Biden's actions that benefited these people to the money that his son took it.
Okay.
I got the point, Drotech. I got it.
Let me ask you real quick, off the top of your head, from what you know of the Trump Foundation, his company, dealings with foreign entities, the company that he didn't divest in, do you think that there's possibility, using the same standards you're applying to Biden right now, you think there's a good possibility that Trump was also like using...
I mean, it could and the whole Kushner thing with Saudi Arabia, there very well could just as possibly be. The thing is, it would take one of Trump's kids smoking a bunch of crack and leaving a laptop at some guy's computer shop for us to find out, because that's the only reason we know that like Hunter Biden was meeting with the CFO of Burisma. And
Challenge
then
accepted.
And then he got that guy a meeting with Joe Biden in private. And then Joe Biden did things that benefited Burisma for the next 2 years. So, and then we see a bunch of money shift into Hunter Biden's shell companies from Burisma executives and shit. It's pretty. It's like we're missing just one conversation, and then we have all the rest of the pieces.
Wait, so you said it went to... So the claim isn't that Joe Biden took money. The claim was that Hunter Biden was taking money and Joe Biden was facilitating that?
Yes.
Okay.
That's more than enough to put
come on.
You don't have to...
It's so obvious.
Yeah,
It's
like
so
mafia
obvious.
dons and shit go down for shit like that. If your family member's taking it in, it's still seen as a gift to you. Especially if they can prove. The thing is, they can't prove political favor. Like the oligarch lady from Russia that gave Hunter Biden $3.5 million. She got a meeting at that fancy restaurant I can't remember the name of right now with Joe Biden. Next thing you know, she is one of the only Russian oligarchs to not show up on the sanctions list that Obama puts out a few weeks later, attacking all the oligarchs in Russia when he moved in on Crimea.
And can I just add to that Biden had dinner with these people knowing that they were like already known criminals? He already knew that, and he had dinner with them.
Yeah, there was the guy that really wanted to become prime minister of Kazakhstan. And
Klaus Schwab?
No, it wasn't Klaus Schwab. It was another. And he met with Hunter Biden. He also hired Rudy Giuliani, just in full transparency. This guy had a lot of money. He met with Hunter Biden, gave him a bunch of money, bought him a Porsche. Next thing you know, Joe Biden's meeting with like the high up. Maybe Joe Biden met with the prime minister, and this guy wanted to be an ambassador, is what I think it actually was. I have a lot of these details written down, but this is all won over at in the 3 hearings that I watched.
Well,
do you have timestamps on your?
ChatGPT did it for me.
Was it as bad as Trump basically threatening to withhold $400 million in military aid so that he could get dirt? I mean, that was pretty fucking bad regarding Ukraine.
I think that if what is alleged of Hunter and Joe Biden is proven, it's probably worse than that. Yes,
that was bad. Trump
That's
was
pretty
president.
shitty.
He was president when he did that.
He rightfully got impeached for that. The only thing is, impeachment is like, it takes the manifest will of the country, and since we're so partisan divided, you can never get 65% of the country to agree on anything.
Right back, guys. Bathroom break.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go to bed, but if you can send those over to me, maybe
don't
I'll
go to bed.
Yeah, I worked
No,
overtime.
I'm not leaving. I'm coming right back. I promise.
I'll sit down and chat right now. Look, I'll sit down and chat with you, and we'll see if we disagree before taking that next step to debate. Plus, I'd also like to get you on the same page factually.
I would. I'd be interested in okay, so there's a lot of claims that have been made so far of Hunter Biden, like, oh well, he received $20,000 or something from his brother, but then it turned out that it was a loan. So I would need to look into those claims that you're making and see if there's anything like that, and if there's not, then
the loan that was also discussed in the hearings, they had the woman that was testifying in the first impeachment inquiry, a white-haired woman. She was a former prosecutor. She was talking about when you have loans in these capacities, you have other contracts. You have a loan contract. You have talking about repayment. You have talking about interest rate. And it's seemingly none of this paperwork exists for all these loan checks Joe Biden's taking in. There's no proof he actually gave anything for a loan. He's just receiving a check. And at the bottom of the check, the reason why says
it was my understanding that the money you can see the money going out to James, I think is his name, Biden, and the money going back in, like that. You can see that in his bank statements.
Yeah, it's the Hunter Biden emails that are really the most damning. I feel like, especially like with CEFC, the WhatsApp text where he's saying, "I'm sitting right here next to Joe Biden, and I don't forgive grudges, and I'm the one that makes Chairman G happy, so let me do what I do and shit like that." And then that very same company, CEFC, as soon as Biden left the White House in 2017 as the VP, he was brought on as a partner. He got an office in this fucking building in China. Him and his wife Joe Biden both became partners at this company in China that sold investment that worked directly with Chairman Xi. Like, it's pretty fucking crazy shit.
Okay. Yeah, send it to me and I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot. I got a lot of information on this, so it'll take you a minute. But again, I'd be willing to just sit down and chat with you, answer any questions.
Yeah, we can schedule that too. Just not this week because like I said, I was working overtime this week, so I'm pretty tired right now.
Same.
Clock was working overtime.
We can segue into the next point on the poll. It was actually Cluck's concept of Trump ballot woes.
Oh,
I don't know if anyone's paying attention to what's.
Tonight.
Sorry, bro. We're just going on to the next subject.
Going through the list.
Okay.
Well, I mean, go ahead and make your point if you want to, Cluck. But basically, I'm just curious if anybody here has been paying attention to what's happening in different states, which states are trying to still actively remove Trump, and which ones are actively trying to move Biden. It's a two-way street now, so go ahead.
So the only one that I actually did research in was Colorado, and what Colorado essentially found was that there's a few different points that they had to look into. Off the top of my head, one is whether or not incitement counts as engaging, because the 14th Amendment says that it's the people who are engaged who are disqualified. The second one is whether or not the 14th Amendment is self-executing, meaning that you don't need another charge to be for it to apply. The other one is whether or not Trump actually did incite the insurrection. And the other one is whether or not this amendment applies to the president. And the first district court found everything to be in the positive, meaning that Trump did incite it. Incitement does count as engaging. The 14th Amendment is self-executing, but they did not find that the president is a office that the 14th Amendment restricts. They said that they're not an oath-taking office.
Sorry to interject, but who is deciding that yes, this is a true conviction? Who is saying yes, he incited based on the facts of the speech and the situation?
I don't
we
actually
know for
know
a
if
fact
it was a jury trial or if it was just a judge. But I do
because
know
it seems subjective enough that I don't see how that can be
It was a
blanket
judge.
statement.
it was a judge.
Yes.
All right, I'm trying to get
she
to
was
my
a judge.
sources now. But yeah, so that was what they decided, and then the people. So the first court judge said this doesn't apply to Trump, so you got to put him on the ballot. The second judge, which was the Supreme Court, so it was the panel of judges, agreed with the district court on everything except for the president is not a office oath taker, whatever that qualifies for the 14th.
Officer of the United States.
Yeah. So they found that he is not eligible to be on the ballot by the 14th Amendment. This was a bipartisan effort to get Trump off the ballot. It was funded by a Democratic group. The people that they found to actually file the claim were Republicans, and the person that they were suing was a Democrat. And yeah, that's kind of where I was.
It's nice that they were working together. I love this bipartisan teamwork stuff.
Me too.
It is nice. I struggle with the judgment that it's clearly incitement, that he clearly incited the insurrection. I mean, just the terms that are being used and how it's voted upon, I find that a little bit too subjective to just back. But That's just me.
The Supreme Court announced this week that they're going to be taking it up in February, maybe I think it's February, early February. And so like you really could just put a pin in this conversation till then. But I really feel like I kind of agree with you that like, using these legal terms of insurrection and incitement of mob, like these are things that you can get arrested for. There's actual codes to arrest people for, and he's not even charged for any of that. And there's no even allegation that he did these things, let alone a conviction. And to say that like we can use the colloquial definition, the non-criminal colloquial definition, just say that could be interpreted in a lot of ways. And if you say like, like fight like hell, if someone on the left says fight like hell, you could say that's the same level of incitement Trump did, and turn around and charge that person with incitement in the same way.
So I agree 100%. I think every aspect of this is bordering on the absurd. The notion that we would use a law designed to, where in the minds of the people that wrote it, an insurrection was the Civil War, where millions died, and attempt to wrangle the legalistic language of what does insurrection say in the dictionary into this little tiny event. That's the first absurdity, and everything follows from there. That the things that Trump said, have to be twisted and pushed into this category to be even considered incitement, and then incitement has to be twisted to be engagement, because none of these words are really that well defined in the amendment. The amendment was simply, we're not going to let Confederates that served in office be officers in the new republic.
Okay, so go ahead.
I will point out that there's been one use of this since Reconstruction, and that was to attempt to prevent a socialist who opposed the U.S. entry into World War I, to prevent him from taking office, and he was prevented from taking office.
Okay, so the court. All right, so I'm going to give you my perspective on why I think Trump was at the very least morally responsible for January 6th. I think that he probably should be held legally responsible. I just don't know if the code is written that way. But if it isn't, it probably should be. I think that Trump created an environment where he was telling lies about the 2020 election that made these people feel like that they were going to literally lose their country if they didn't do something about it. And I think that some of his past statements when it regards to violent acts made them feel like it would be okay in his eyes if they were violent.
I agree that he's morally responsible. So you're not going to get me to disagree with that.
Yeah, so in the court, they say basically in regards to the general atmosphere of political violence that Trump created before January 6th, many of which we have already outlined in discussing why the district court concluded that President Trump engaged in insurrection. We incorporate those observations here by reference and supplements. And they go on to list a bunch of things that Trump has said, which includes saying things like, in my days, protesters would be punched in the face. I'd pay your legal fees if you were to fight this person.
Do they do this for Democrats too? Or is it just this guy?
Jontek, please.
No.
Jontek,
I'm so sick of this shit. No.
Please, Jontek, please.
Okay,
I think I personally think the most damning one thing that Trump said was when he told the Proud Boys to stand back and stand by.
That was dumb.
Proud Boys, which, by the way, I think 4 of them, including their leader, was convicted of seditious conspiracy.
Right, but he wasn't even there, and they didn't. Okay, yeah, I know. The guy that wasn't at the Capitol, right? That got 20 years.
There were Proud Boys at the Capitol that got convicted of the same thing.
Yeah, I'm all for throwing the rioters.
What did they do?
They got convicted of seditious conspiracy. I haven't looked into the indictments and to know exactly what their actions were. I can't even
trust those convictions, though. I just think it's bullshit.
All right, I mean, that's fine.
Only 87 of them were violent.
Seditious conspiracy? How are they going to seditious?
I would have to look at
How are they?
the- I
How
would-
are they
I-
going
I
to be
would-
seditionists?
I would have
what
to
were they
look
going to
at-
do?
I would have to look at the indictments, Drone Tech, to
Like
know
how
exactly what
Joe
the claims
Biden,
are.
Joe Biden. I wonder if they played this during their trials. If they played Joe Biden saying that you could not overthrow the government with AR-15s, that you needed F-15s and nukes.
Just
But
because-
somehow
just because
this
it
group,
was-
the small unarmed group people, was going to do it somehow.
Just because they were doomed to fail doesn't mean they didn't try.
Cluck, so can I throw this scenario in real quick?
Well, okay, hold on. But Cluck, by that standard, you guys tried for 4 years after 2016 to overthrow the government, right? BLM and the media backed it. Democrats backed it. BLM basically terrorizing the country for 4 years because you guys lost the election. And their stated goal was to burn down the system and replace it, right? When are the hearings for that? When are the treasons? When are we going to see the treason hearings for that? Are we? Is that going to happen?
Tyler, what were you saying?
So I want to throw.
Oh, just ignore me. Okay.
I want to throw like a hypothetical at you. So Bernie Sanders was out there saying that Republicans' healthcare plan is going to kill millions of people. It's going to hurt your grandparents. It's blah blah blah. And shortly after that, there was the shooting where Steve Scalise was shot at the congressional baseball game, and he was a big Bernie Sanders supporter and used to repeat shit online like Republicans are going to kill my grandma, essentially. Would you blame Bernie Sanders for that, or would you say that sometimes when you have a large crowd of people, that charged rhetoric resonates with a small percent in a different way than normal people expect?
Well,
can I also add that there was a domestic terrorist attack against Republicans based on the rhetoric from Bernie Sanders and all that?
Yeah,
right?
so I think it's probably a little bit of both. I think that Bernie Sanders' rhetoric was irresponsible in the extreme that he took.
No charges though.
But yeah, I also think it's a little bit of the whole. When you have large groups of people, somebody's gonna probably bound to go crazy.
Can I ask you, Cluck? Can I ask you just on that, based on that, like why did the FBI lie about that for so long? You know they lied about it, right?
But I don't.
Wait, let's just.
John Check, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you want to have a discussion about on these topics with me, no. If you want to have like an actual discussion, what you need to do is you need to DM me, be like, all right, so this is what.
Do you know about the baseball game shooting?
Yes, I do know about the baseball game shooting.
Yeah, that's what I just.
You know that the FBI lied about that.
So what you need to do is you need to DM me, be like, hey, I want to talk to you about the FBI lying about the baseball game shooting. Here's my evidence.
That's connected to this. That's part of this debate.
No, here's my evidence. Look into this and get back to me, and we'll have a discussion about it. If I see your evidence and I just end up agreeing with you.
Okay, stop. That's
just admit that
you don't know about it. You have no. Yeah, right. You don't know about it. You can't.
No, I don't know about
no
why you think the FBI lied about it. It could have happened. I don't know.
They did. I don't. It's not about me thinking. They did. It's undebatable. It is out in the open.
Like,
huh?
That has nothing to do with what Tyler asked me, and that has nothing to do with the original topic.
It does though.
It doesn't.
I mean, you like to debate, so you're supposed to be on your feet with these kind of topics since you'd like to bring it up, right?
I'm not going to debate something that I haven't looked into. That would be a dumb thing for me to do.
Well, then
I
you have to
bring this up like literally every debate we have.
Then you have to admit that you don't know certain things. Like you don't have to be like, oh, well, you know what? You want to have a discussion, blah blah blah. No, you have to admit that yes, I don't know. We can discuss this later, and maybe you're right.
Wait, was that not my whole spiel?
That was not your spew at all.
Okay.
Spew. Come on.
Okay. Anyways, Tyler. Yes. So I think it's a little bit of both. I think that Bernie Sanders' rhetoric was irresponsible, and it did cause that person to do that shooting. But also, like Bernie Sanders' rhetoric, it's the whole large group.
It wasn't
thing
just
also.
Bernie Sanders, though, right? It was like the entire media, the entire Democrat Party.
But that specific shooting, I'm pretty sure he cited Bernie Sanders' rhetoric. A lot of Bernie Sanders rhetoric.
Well, no, he didn't cite it. He said this is for healthcare. He was shooting at Republicans, and the FBI said it was suicide by cop.
He was a big follower of Rachel Maddow too.
What about Maxine? What about Maxine Waters? The entire State of the Union address. What about all that?
Like, when are we going to hold Democrats? This is the point I brought up earlier. Yeah, like, when are we going to hold them to that
the thing that I was saying was that
we can do that to Republicans, but let's do it to Democrats.
The thing that I was saying was that Trump created a world with lies. With lies, he created a world where if they didn't do something now, yes, he did. He created a world
or
where
people
if,
before him did that,
where if,
and then Trump came along and maybe
no,
started doing it too.
He told a bunch of lies that everyone, that people in this Discord right now, I guarantee you still believe. He told a bunch of lies that made these people feel like if they didn't do something now,
Don't say that and have
the
examples
entire
like what?
January 6th was stolen by fraudulent elections fraudulent votes thing. That entire thing was a lie.
I'm going to say
I think the 2020 election was
that
definitely
even if
shiesty,
you're
and
even if you're
I
right,
think
that doesn't rise to the level of incitement.
Sure. That is the standard that I am using to hold him morally responsible. And I think that the whatever code that is in there should probably include a little bit of aspect of that, especially when it comes to lying that leads to some type of riots. I think that the most damning thing that they have on Trump was when he told the Proud Boys to stand back and stand by. And then 4 of those Proud Boys people ended up getting convicted of seditious conspiracy.
Wait,
okay, but stand by. He told him to stand by. What's that mean? He told him to not do anything.
How do you interpret that to mean go into the Capitol?
Right. He said, "Don't do anything," is what he told him to do.
He said, "Don't do anything." So he didn't say that on January 6th. He said that before January 6th. So he told him to stand down and stand by. What does stand by mean? It means wait for your moment. And those people took it as January 6th was their moment.
Did we address the Ray-Up situation?
Oh my gosh! If you were getting into Ray-Ups, no.
Because how
I don't.
Well, you can't defend it. You can't.
No, I did defend it. I defended it pretty well when we were in.
So he just got his sentence. How can you explain his sentence?
Wait, hold on. How are you able to defend the Ray-Up situation when it's already known that he was working with the FBI?
So what?
Wait, what do you mean it was known that
Hey, hold on. Let me take this one. You got the last argument.
Okay.
So what if he was working with the FBI?
What? Okay, so what is the so what about?
Like
I'm interested. You piqued my interest.
All he did was say, "Hey, let's go into this building," and he wasn't actually entering himself.
Isn't he the one?
Democrats Republicans exerting an effective policy.
Maybe he was, and maybe he was working with the FBI.
Maybe.
You know, Xavier, if I were to say that,
let's assume this is correct.
If I were to say that, all Joan Tech is going to do is say, "Oh, so it's different when we do it." That's exactly what he'll say. I've debated this guy so many times. It's not even worth it.
That has been charged with a 3-year plus sentence.
Oh no! I've looked at
not
all
everybody.
No. Hold on.
Everybody, but how's this a so what?
The most common 2 sentences handed out of the 87, excluding the 87 violent
3 years
ones,
is the average.
It's looking more like people are getting trespassing and what's the other, protesting without a permit, and they're getting months, and that's it.
But how when the security guards was just allowing people inside?
That's a police tactic. If you don't have enough police officers, you're going to put more police officers at risk in studying the crowd and violently.
A better question is why didn't they have enough police officers?
Isn't it the police officers' job to keep people out? Aren't they supposed to be the muscle, the security?
They are, but when there's not enough of them, it's a police tactic to. It's like when you see.
Cop-out.
So it might be, but in this aspect, think of it like this: when you see a police chase going on in a busy city, they'll often call the police officers off and say, "Stop chasing that person. We have their license plate. We have their address. It's going to cause more violence if we continue this chase right now." They'll let that person go, and then they'll go arrest them later. It's similar to what they did at the Capitol. We don't have the manpower to keep them out. We'll see more hurt police officers if we violently resist.
I have a few possible reasons to why. A lot of the left has been asking to defund the police, and a lot of people has left the police force because of such rhetoric like that.
For sure, but the police forces aren't hurting in a lot of states. It's only the areas.
Question I don't know the answer to. Is there really no video of people orchestrating during the day to the degree of
the FBI?
That means what?
They're allowed to go undercover.
I don't think X was orchestrating anything.
United States.
Yeah, well,
he's not the one that's setting rights.
People are allowed to go undercover. If you're an informant, it doesn't
X was a
necessarily
guy
mean
that
the
was
FBI is
caught in the
go in
moment,
there and
just
do
like a
it.
lot
It's
of the
like you were in
January
there
6
doing
people
that.
were.
You saw some shit that would raise some red flags
When
with
he
you
was
that went
saying
too
to
far.
go into the
You went to
Capitol,
the
he was
FBI
saying
and
that
said,
on
"Hey,
January 5th.
these guys are going a little too far."
Nobody went into the Capitol, which is why he wasn't charged until much later. He wasn't a very high priority target for the FBI.
Debater, you know that he whispered to Baked Alaska that his plan was to storm the Capitol. I'm not kidding, is what he said.
I'm sure that's his.
If he's working for the government and his plan on behalf of the government is to storm the Capitol, and he's instigating people to do that on the day before and the day of. Like, come on. Like, how can you explain his sentence given that? Like,
So, what I'm wondering
if
is,
he's just a regular guy. Well, I have one other
Okay, I'll just
explanation
look it up.
actually. If he's not a government agent, he's just a regular guy who did incite it, but that's a problem for people trying to blame Trump for inciting it.
Yeah, but see, if you work with the police, then you get like discounted sentences. There's all sorts of like, the police could jam you up for nothing and keep you busy for 48 hours and lock up and shit.
But we're not talking about any normal schlub here. We're talking about the guy who literally admitted that his plan was to storm the Capitol. Those words, which turned out to be the leading buzz phrase of our media.
So yeah, okay.
Coincidentally.
Maybe he again. I'm for the sake of this argument, I'm affirming he probably worked for the
Oh,
FBI.
you're
Let's say
saying
he even
that
had a
there's
specific.
probably
I'm not even saying working for the FBI.
So what as if
Okay, I think I understand what you're trying to
our
say.
bodies of government, especially the agencies like the CIA and FBI, hasn't done stupid shit like this before? You got to understand, it's bad enough. Like we already have on public record, like the CIA was the whole reason for 9/11 happened, and that became public information last year. Don't you not think that this is just another issue of like government interfering in elections?
It might. I wouldn't say interfere in elections.
Yeah,
I think this is government doing their job. This is the FBI doing what they do. Like they get into
Doing
these
what they do.
groups.
So now we're just gonna point the finger of an adversary just because, just for fucks all, and be like, well, we had an informant in there, but like, who cares? That's a bad argument.
No, I don't. I think it's a perfectly good argument. Like if people, the informant is there telling the FBI what these people are talking about and what they're.
But he's the
planning on
one
doing.
who was inciting the riots. It's caught on video.
Was he in a?
Real quick,
Wait, hold on.
Hold on, before we continue. Before we continue on this line, hold on. Before we continue on this line, let me play this real quick for the audience, real quick. Because it's right in line with what we're talking about right now. 1 second.
Where the fuck is my mouse at?
I'm not kidding. We're here to storm the Capitol.
Wow, today has been an
I saw this.
That's good enough, dude.
Anyway, yeah, that's all. I just wanted. I like the fact that he says that, and then I'm not kidding. I just want people to see that. Continue. Go
So
ahead.
what if he works for the FBI? Is what catches me off guard, bro. I'm
Well,
like,
I don't
man,
even. Wait, why? When did it come out that he worked for the FBI? I haven't seen that anywhere.
I'm granting it for this conversation.
There was something. Let me jump in. There was. I read something about he trained FBI, or his sister said that he trained FBI agents years ago or something.
This was during the congressional hearings months back in the during the whole election proceedings about the whole January 6th.
So he wasn't like an employee of the FBI at the time of the riot.
No. I'm granting.
I know you're granting that because you the argument works even if he did work for the FBI. But
no, it was that he was working for the FBI.
Yeah.
And he was.
Do you guys? Can I throw something else out? I read there's an article from Politico that came out right after Raps was sentenced, this most recent sentence, and it of course paints anybody that's raising questions as a conspiracy theorist. But then when you read the article, it completely lies about like what he said. Multiple times throughout the article, it mentions that he told people to go to the Capitol. Go to the Capitol.
He did say go to the Capitol.
No, right, but in parts where they're quoting him, where he was actually saying go into the Capitol, and they do not quote it that way, and they don't say anything about storming the Capitol. It's like, why are they leaving these things out of these stories? Why are they leaving that out?
When we had this debate, there was one time where he showed intent on actually going inside the Capitol. And that was when he told that person. That was when he told that person to get rid of the pepper spray before they go in.
It's as simple.
No, that's bullshit. That's all bullshit. Shut up. That's wrong.
It's as simple as 3 months ago to almost a year ago when they were having these congressional hearings about January 6th. If we simply just look back, I know people do not.
I'll play the video if I must. I will do it. You want me to play it?
It sucks. I have to actually look at for the news just to actually look at these congressional hearings, but they were having like 3-hour-long conversations about Ray Epps and his involvement with the FBI. And
yeah,
waste of time.
I think there's a real weakness.
Talking in fucking circles, and obviously, these people that were working, that are working there currently, obviously won't answer basic questions.
Yeah, it's all a waste of time. Same thing like the Garland hearing, waste of time. No, so the point is, like, it doesn't matter. Like, if you're putting, and he's just an FBI informant. I'm not saying he's an undercover agent or something, but if you're putting undercover agents into a drug house to get a drug sting, those agents aren't going in there and saying, no, don't commit crimes, guys. We should really all stop selling drugs. They go in there and they're like, yeah, let's sell drugs. And then they're fucking taking pictures on the side and shit. Like, it's their job to blend in.
Why is it okay to do that? Why in the instance of the insurrection? Why is it? Why are you backing it? Why are you saying that? What's the big deal?
There is a line here, and that is the line of entrapment. And I'm not sure if you are alleging that the people that were arrested and convicted were entrapped by Ray Epps. That seems unlikely, especially if it's what he said about storming the Capitol. He whispered it to somebody.
He's like, my plan is to storm the Capitol.
But so what? How does that excuse somebody else who was convicted of their role?
That's a very good point. It's hard to argue Ray Epps could entrap anybody being a crazy guy on the streets of Washington, D.C.
Not the point.
I feel like we are holding one person to a higher standard than the next just because of status.
I mean, in a way, that's how the world works.
Here's my argument. Here's my argument is that Donald Trump told people to march peacefully and make your voices heard, or march peacefully and patriotically and make your voices heard. There was over 120,000 people did. That's what the vast majority of people did. When it came to the actual riot, it was about 300 people, about 372 people that took part in that. There was another about 300 who took part in destruction of property, and that's it. About 600, a little over 600 that you could accuse of rioting out of the 120,000.
I would argue anybody that trespassed.
Okay, all right. So another 1,000 that trespassed.
I think we're up to 1,100 arrests right now, and that's pretty much.
Okay, that's 1,100 out of 120,000. What would you call that?
Mostly peaceful.
Right, and not only that, but think about Ray Epps. No, think about Ray Epps compared to Trump. Okay, the influence both guys.
Wait, are you going to completely ignore what he said peacefully, and you're going to completely ignore? Hold on, but I want to know. Are you going to completely
this
ignore?
is exactly the way Destiny came at me, and I'm ready for it.
Are you going to completely ignore where he said peacefully?
Yes.
Oh, you mean the cook?
Will you stop? Destiny came at me the exact same way. Okay, so Epps, he said that peacefully. Only after he was called out as a Fed. That's the only time he's recorded ever saying the peacefully.
He still said peacefully,
and
that counts for Trump. Why doesn't it count for Epps?
Okay. All right, so does it count for Trump? If it
For
counts
you,
for
it
Epps,
does.
it counts for Trump then, right?
No, I'm glad Ray Epps got charged.
You're saying for me, but this is a legal issue now. So
yeah, and he got charged.
Does it count for Trump?
No, Ray Epps got charged.
They slapped the shit out of him with a wet
He
noodle.
got probation.
Got him.
He got fucking probation.
Nice. He got
I also
charged.
remember celebrities inciting violence on Trump.
He got one of the weakest. He got one of the weakest charges out of anybody, and he very well may have been the ringleader.
He didn't even go into Capitol.
I wouldn't say the
He was at the steps. He was literally pushing a giant sign into ring leader. He was literally on the steps of the Capitol pushing a giant Trump sign into a line of police, and it's on video. That came up. That came up during his hearing.
You showed me a picture of him with his hands.
No, that
on
actually
the side.
did come up. Do you want me to tell you what the judge said during his hearing? Which was private, but now we have a transcript supposedly. But the judge said that the sentencing was very hard because while he did take part in some of the melee and was also seen urging peace, and it went on like that a little bit, but at no point did he say anything about telling people to enter the Capitol. He never, and the judge's statement, he never mentioned that. Why would he not mention that? He's an Obama appointee, by the way. The judge. What the fuck? Who gave me that? Fucking tell me what you just gave me little. You just gave me a thumbs down. What's your fucking argument, dude? What did I do wrong?
I'm the one that made the noise because you're slurring around.
It's a lot of plausible deniability. Long story short, that's how I'm seeing it.
Hold on a second.
RW, I'm slurring around, am I?
Okay.
When you go back,
Yeah, well, how can you explain? Wait, hold on. How can you explain people like Owen Sawyer, who were telling people not to go into the Capitol, didn't go into the Capitol?
He was also saying that Democrats should die and all that stuff, but which I think is okay, actually.
Hey, I actually agree with you, Drone. I was just doing the thumbs down because RW made the sound, so chill out.
Right, RW. What did I say that was wrong? I might have been slurring around. I'm sorry.
I'm having fun. I'm having fun.
Okay, guys, it is my bedtime,
all right, fine,
so
that's
y'all
fine.
have a good night.
All right, man.
You didn't even
Hope you got
respond to any of that, Cluck.
We went through this on our last stream intensively. Like
You have a squirrel
the
in
guy
your
also
shirt.
had testimony.
A little,
the guy
like,
also had testimony of the
chipmunk.
guy who was leading the pack.
It's a gerbil.
The guy also had testimony of the guy that first broke the barriers. He testified that Ray Epps told him to calm down. He also the one video you have where he was saying showed intent in actually going inside the Capitol. He was telling somebody to leave their pepper spray, to leave the weapon that they brought.
He told one person.
But he also told one person that you were gonna storm the Capitol.
After telling probably hundreds,
You're
almost
gonna
maybe
go to the
300.
Capitol, yes.
I still cannot accept the defenses of Ray. It just
Yeah,
seems to be people clinging to like.
So
I don't know.
So my
it makes no logical sense
My
to me at all.
position
I
is
cannot
these are the reasons
square
why
with
he was a light target for the FBI. Why it took them so long to get around to him. Why after he called them, they took him off the list. You can say that it's a light sentence, and I might agree with you. I don't really know, and I don't really care.
They're
but-
trying. Look, dude, they're literally they're on the precipice of starting a civil war in order to imprison a guy for supposedly inciting this. But the guy who's literally on video telling people his plan is to storm the Capitol, you're telling me all of this shit that you're saying right
If it
now.
was Trump, I'm pretty sure you guys will go AWOL bonkers. With
Well, Trump's got Trump's got just a
my
little bit
brain
more pull
can't
than
wrap around all of this.
Trump's got just a little bit more pull than a crazy boomer Trump supporter.
No, right. Which is why I made
Which is
what. Hold on. Which is why I made the argument about the fact that over 120,000 people marched peacefully. How do you explain that? Like, if Trump was inciting a riot, where is the gigantic riot?
I explained that because every single fucking riot in the history of ever has most of their people not rioting.
There was way more than 300 people rioting through 2015 to 2020. Way more.
Okay, but every single riot, most people are
Can we
rioting.
imprison all left-wingers, imprison them as traitors
All right, y'all have
and
a good night.
insurrectionists? And
Y'all have a good night, bye.
you're out.
Can't just say Trump incited Ray Epps to say storm the Capitol with his rhetoric. LOL. Yeah, it's insane. Like they will hold on to that whole Trump said peaceful, even though Trump created everything that brought those people to January 6th and made them as angry enough to go into the Capitol. Trump created all that out of whole cloth. None of it was based on reality. If Trump was telling the truth and those people had stormed the Capitol, I would be behind them. Because if Trump was telling the truth, that is a assault to democracy. And I am a very huge democracy simp. But he wasn't. He was lying the entire time. His lies got those people to the Capitol, and his lies sent those people into the Capitol. He also had a lot of violent rhetoric. He may have said be peaceful that day, but that's not how his rhetoric has always been. Anyways, y'all have a good night. Thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate it, and thank you for chatting. Good night.